to move on to the Russian Association of Tour Guides and Tour Managers, to Marina's presentation.
Okay, I'm here. Is it okay? Is it okay? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Yes?
All good, Marina.
Hello, hello. So I can start, I understand. I was very impressed with the previous journeys, reports, and I hope that mine will be interesting. Thank you very much, organizers, for choosing this romantic title, A Journey, instead of a just country report. Our guide vessel started joyfully from 2019 coastline, full of hope and desire to update, upgrade, optimize, learn more, diversify tours, sign new contracts with tour operators, or learn how to promote our own services. Just a moment, I need to, like this, yes, okay. So the year 2020, we had great plans. First of all, we were to celebrate our 30th anniversary of Russian Tourist Guides Association, somewhere late in December. And to start the year of 2020, we had good plans to do the International Guides Day in Moscow, and everything was prepared for that. So instead of that, already at the end of January, about 30 guides, Chinese-speaking guides, worked as volunteers in hospitals to help Chinese travelers who still came in January to Russia, and worked with doctors. No protocols existed, no protection existed. Thanks God they all were healthy and finished this experience with the first patients of the disease. The year of 2020, we hoped very much that we will finalize our work on guides profession regulation on the federal level. We worked on that law for more than 10 years, and finally, at the end of 2019, the project came into State Duma from the government, and we were full of hopes. And now we can say that this law went through the first hearing. There were lots of public discussions, and we went out with flash mobs to support this law on regulation, which has main principles that a guide here in Russia on the federal level is a citizen of the Russian Federation, that it's a trained person, the qualifications and skills are confirmed with the standards of Department of Education of the Russian Federation, and that all the confirmation and accreditations would be taken care of by regional governments. So the country is so big that we understood very well that being a guide in St. Petersburg or Moscow or in Kaliningrad or somewhere on the Volga River, you can hardly guide in the Altai region or Siberia or anywhere else. So regional principle was very, very important. We must say that there was, so you can see in the pictures our flash mobs. We enjoyed them very much, and because we knew that we are fighting for the future of the profession. To support that, you can see Sasha now. I know how popular he is, and you can see myself. And here, together with Sasha, we were at the session of the upper Parliament House, which is called the Council of Federations, where all experts you can imagine were present, and we all discussed and were supported by the vast majority, including educational institutes, including all sorts of religion institutions, and especially we were well supported by public organizations of tourism, Council for Tourism and operators unions and so on. So we were quite sure we are doing a good work. Sasha was endlessly present at all meetings and was also supported by the vast majority. Who was against? Against were people who were never trained, who were probably very talented, who are journalists or architects or archaeologists, and they claimed they shouldn't have this education. We insisted that the regulation lies within tourism industry and not with all sorts of creative walkings or lectures and so on. So we didn't mean them. But anyway, the resistance was very, very tough. They wrote letters and petitions and always insisted that we are trying to get them out of industry. So nevertheless, we had a public hearing in summer where Sasha was present, and our colleagues from St. Petersburg and all other tourist centers, and everybody supported that the regulation should be accepted. It will go through the second hearing probably in February, and we will of course inform you and tell you how we are proceeding, and we hope that we can confirm that everything is okay, and in Russia we have a guides regulation law. Meanwhile, as we were getting out of work and practically with no material support, and I needed to say it at the end. I wanted to say it at the end, but I would probably mention now that what we achieved from the government, addressing the government many times and joining all other letters, addressing the support of tourism in general and guides in particular, we managed only to get some tax return for those who were self-employed officially, and of course not for those guides who worked on contracts with big tour operators. We got nothing from them, which is understandable because they didn't get anything as well. So there was 2 months tax return to those who were employed, and also 2 months minimum salary, which is approximately $300 per month. So not much at all. This was it. We started traveling when the quarantine was uplifted, and we started doing all sorts of educational tours, and we traveled far from Moscow. This was already in July. But in May, we organized online lectures, online tours, and we can say that it was all new to us, but we can say that over 1,000 tourist guides, accredited tourist guides and members of our association visited, studied, supported our over 20 lectures and excursions. Those excursions covered things which we never did before in our tour programs. We included architecture, new parks, new developments, training at our absolutely fabulous space museum. We traveled to places we've never traveled before with our guests, like Yasnaya Polyana of Leo Tolstoy. We traveled to Chekhov house in the vicinity of Moscow, and we did wonderful things. I will now go down. Okay, so one of our big events in summer was a visit, a training, and further accreditation at a new development. Here in the picture you can see a cathedral which is devoted to all those who died during the Second World War, because we never had such a memorial cathedral before. We had a memorial cathedral to our victory of Ivan the Terrible in the 16th century, which is in Red Square, which is called St. Basil's or Intercession Cathedral. We have a wonderful St. Xavier Cathedral in Moscow, which is devoted to 1812 war, but we never had a cathedral, memorial cathedral to the last war. You can see in the picture the chief artist of this cathedral, as well as the chief architect of this cathedral. They were our guides. It's not only a wonderful cathedral that they constructed in a very short time, but also a museum which is called the Road of Memory. This museum is fantastic. It has such memorabilia that no other military or war museum has. It was made up of collections of 3 museums, army museums. And what is very important that you can come into one of the screens, you can pick the name of your relative or father, grandfather, or whoever you want to see, and it will come out on the screen. The picture of your grandfather, the picture of, for example, my mother-in-law, and you can read about them, when they started the war, how and where they finished. And we could see many, many guides who were really crying, looking at their relatives. So I'm absolutely sure that when the tourism restores, many people would like to go and see, because it's a fantastic new development.
Marina, we have 1 minute left.
Okay, and we are finishing because here we can see our guides who participate in the Department of Cultural Heritage program. And this all was new jobs that we found for our guides. And here you can see how we participated in the charity project. We helped kids who are patients in the Lighthouse Foundation tours that we introduced, and payments all went to those kids. Also here we can see our students. We continue our training work, and this is it.
Thank you very much, Marina.
Thank you.
And thank you for staying well within your time, because we have one more presentation.
If you do have questions for one another, just raise your hands. But just from the Q&A panel, there was a question from Christina who wanted to know, she heard that the Ukraine tourist guides fell under the Ministry of Culture, and she was just interested to know if there were other examples in Europe of any of the associations that fall under the Ministry of Culture. How's your situation, Marina?
Yes, I can answer. Yes.
There you go.
For years, for about 5 or 6 years, we were with Ministry of Culture, and these were the years of our great success, especially in progress with our regulation law, guides regulation law. They helped a lot. They coordinated with all other bodies, including the State Duma, which is our parliament, and museums, especially with museums. You know that foreign languages speaking guides guide in 20 museums in Moscow. 20 museums in Moscow. They guide absolutely after training, after accreditations, but we come with a group and we do the tours, and this is on a 5-year basis. The Russian-speaking guides, as we call them, our colleagues speaking Russian, they have 10 museums to guide absolutely without any aid or without curators from the museum. So the result of this law, the body of the law, was worked out when we were with Ministry of Culture. Now we are with the state agency of Russian tourism. It's called Rostourism, and we are very friendly with them, and they support it very much. But Ministry of Culture for our profession is ideal. This is what concerns us. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Alushka. Thanks, Esther.
Thank you.